Okay, easy. I know what you're thinking. It's been 2 weeks now. Where the fuck's the podcast? Or the vlogcast? Or whatever it is now. Where is it? Well, not only were we making a new intro, well, the intro in the last video, it's not new, I'm kind of just using that as an excuse, but look at this fucking new setup! My girlfriend let me took the shelves. And this desk, provided also by Eric Picard. This video is also always sponsored by Eric Picard. Do the intro. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We are back after what some of our D&D friends might call a long rest. We're meeting at the tavern, boys and girls. We're going to do this. We're going to start it right. It's your host, Mitch, aka Viking or Rhino or whatever stupid shit I did on this weekend to make a new call sign. Just really want to thank the community again, really being on my ass to get in here, get this stuff done, while also at the same time being mildly supportive about the fact that this is a passion project, and I do have a full-time job, a more than full-time job at certain times. So here's to you guys. First things first, bit of a little hassle in between the last podcast and this one. Made a amazing recording with Christine Logan, a female airsofter from out in the London, Windsor area. Great little half-hour talk about her experiences as a female airsofter. But your boy doesn't know how technology works, and I only recorded my sound and not hers. So it was just it was a half hour of me talking to myself, kind of like I'm doing right now, or like I basically always do. So that kind of went to shit right away. And I do promise to get her back on ASAP, get that recorded. Again, it's going to be kind of weird kind of having the same talk, but I'm sure we'll have a new flair on it when we do. Oh, I got the burps today. I chugged it a little fast. But swooped in Hunter Riley from the team CSAS. Sorry, another local Ontario team. Some guys that we've had a chance to play with quite a few times over the years, and one of those teams that's really up and coming right now. They've been at quite a few milsims this year. We always see them. One of those teams that's kind of trying to get their wheels right now, and once they kind of fall into their own little thing, they'll definitely be a team to look out for in the next little while. I got some other news. I got some. I've been craving this beer all day. Like in some of the other podcasts, been doing my best, starting to lose weight. I don't know. Like I'm looking at this. This is jawlines coming back. This shirt doesn't do well on the shoulders, like in the video passed up. But I am slamming some beers today. Been a long week, and celebrating. Got a beautiful little package in the mail today from BB Bastards. They sent over a couple BBs. That'd be shit. They sent over a couple bags of BBs. I promised to do a honest review for them. There's it's been some discussion in the community, let's say, and I know that a lot of you out there would probably trust my brutally honest opinion on the subject. And the one thing I will say, obviously I haven't had a chance to try the actual product yet, but what I will say is the customer service was there. The people that I had talked to that contacted me kind of set this up. Amazing customer service. So not a clue how the actual BBs are going to fire. But I am very much looking forward to it. And I don't want to be biased on it, but just because of the experience I had with the actual management side of things, I really want this to work out. But I do owe it to you guys for a brutally honest review. So what I'll be doing, hopefully sometime in the, hopefully this weekend. I'm not doing anything this weekend, unless absolutely anybody wants to have beers, because then I'm pretty much always having beers. They sent me a bag of 2.5s and a bag of 3s, sorry. So I'd really like to get to an indoor with some of the guys. We were talking about doing some indoor at Ready for Battle, Niagara Quartermaster's indoor field. I think 2.5s would be great, throwing a pistol, go around, see how it works. And if I can make it out to a Sunday walk-on, give the 3s a shot and take some videos of that, and maybe by the next podcast, which from what you guys know could be anywhere between properly on Tuesday and a couple weeks from now, because that's what's up on this podcast. But yeah, I want you guys all to know that there will be a honest review coming through on that once I get that tested out. So without further ado, though, this video is sponsored by BB Bastards this week. They're really going out of their way to reach out, find someone in the community that they know will give them a honest review. They're not looking, in no way did they contact me and be like, hey, can you maybe say something good about it or whatever. The only conversation was give an honest opinion. So with that kind of attitude, I'd say that's this week's sponsor. So I bet I can, am I doing that sponsor thing? I bet I am. The following video is not recommended for younger audiences. Explicit language, adult themes, consumption of alcohol, and scenes of violence may occur during the content you're about to view. Opinions portrayed in this program do not directly represent the opinions of Nomad Airsoft and/or all other sponsors. Only the opinions of parties partaking in the filming are being portrayed. Thanks for watching, and viewer discretion is strongly advised. That's good. That's a good addition. That's a good addition to the show. These are all my opinions. This is my podcast. Our podcast. Whatever it is. So another thing too, this is going to be the second time appearing in this podcast. All this is just shit I think. It's not the opinions of any of my sponsors or any of the team sponsors or the team in general also. It's only the one guy on this side of this camera, so I don't want anyone out there thinking anything I say is the entire Nomad's opinion. But for the most part, we're all pretty like-minded thinking individuals. So there's that disclaimer. But my buddy Hunter here pulling through with the interview. It's about 15 minutes long. Just strap in. Maybe you're either listening to it in your car if we're still doing. You're still listening to it on YouTube. That's another thing I really do plan on changing is creating a different audio format. And if there's anyone in the community that has some sort of experience on platforms, anything like that, to be honest, I really want to. Just very busy, and so any help would be appreciated if you have ideas, anything like that. And final thing, if you want to get on the show, shoot a message. I'm always super up to either shoot shit over webcam. From what I've learned with video, it does have to be on Discord though, so make sure you have Discord. I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but from what I know how to do is Discord. So if you want to be on the show, get Discord. What else? Or come on down to the office. We'll have some beers, and we have a surprise guest next week, hopefully Friday, whatever day you watch this. It'll be the Friday of, I think, the last weekend of August, whatever, Labor Day weekend Friday. But that did remind me, there's something else that's very major in the community to say, very major for me, myself, also very major for Nomad. We had been approached and asked, I'm so burpy. Why am I still burpy? It's the beer. I'm going to not help the situation. After playing amazing games by the Blackcell guys, Narco, hadn't played any of the other ones, so just amazing game, I guess, but had been in contact with the Blackcell guys for years, the past couple years, and played games with them, being under the command of Mitch at Nightfall, the two before that. I was approached and asked if I would like to command a section in their upcoming game called Darkzone. Now, what old me would have done a couple episodes ago would have freeballed the random information and left it to you to look up. But I'm not that guy. I have all the information I need right in front of me. So, the game will take place November 2nd. Pre-registration costs $75 per player. The it includes event administration, event admission, event patch, a faction patch, a Blackcell patch, a faction-specific beanie, or toque, and a custom event dead rag. Pre-registration will open by August 23rd, 2019, in case you're watching this in the future. Good for you, I guess. You're going back in time. And the pre-registration will also end September 30th. I'm not going to go into the storyline of it, but what I will do is link in the comment section down below, because that's what all the cool YouTubers say, so I'm going to say that too. But I'm commanding the White Rhino faction, and I was approached by Mitch and Matt, and all I can really say is, what a great opportunity. To kind of see the stuff I'm doing in the community come back and have people think that I'm the kind of guy that could motivate guys to play and do stuff like that is amazing to hear. And by the time you watch this, there's also probably going to be some other news announced that I'm not at liberty to say right now. It does have to do with commanding and other games. If you know right now, you know, and if you don't, you'll probably know in the next couple days. But I'm commanding the White Rhino faction. I get to handpick my own unit of 30 guys. I've already pretty much approached the limit of my 30 guys, but what I will say, if anyone listening to this wants to get in and I have some open spots and for some reason it's got my mind to contact you or anything like that, unless I went out of my way not to contact you, that's a very high possibility. But if you hear this and you want in, shoot me a message and I'll let you know. I'll let you know what's up. But I just had to get that out. My boys at Blackcell, I don't have a flag there yet, but that, hey, who knows? Maybe there will be a black flag in the back. Or black flag. Are Blackcell flags black? I certainly fucking hope so. Oh boy, do I hope so. Maybe that'll be up there. Anyways, guys, that's news for the future. Without further ado, enjoy this interview, and, well, have a great fucking day. Welcome back, guys. We have an awesome guest here today. We got Hunter Riley. How you doing, Hunter?
Not too bad, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for having me.
Start off with a little drinky poo here, and we'll shoot the shit. Timing of you messaging me this week to get on the show was phenomenal. Like I've said a little bit earlier, had some technical difficulties, had an awesome interview with Christine Logan, just a girl that plays with a couple of our friends at Crywolf. She's not on the team, but she just plays with them. Great talk with her about how females in Airsoft and getting more girls into the community.
Yeah, man, it's such a sausage fest, and like when you do see a girl, you're like, finally, somebody cool, and like 9 times out of 10, every Airsoft chick that I meet is like the coolest girl I've ever met.
Oh yeah, and so that's the same way I felt, was loving to get her on the show, and then I went and fucked the whole thing up by not recording her audio, so it was just a whole thing of me talking, but luckily you kind of swung in, white knighted for me, and we're ready to get on the show whenever worked for either of us. So that was perfect.
Yeah.
But tell us a little about yourself, team you play for, some shit like that.
Yeah. So my name's Hunter Riley. Obviously, I'm 21 years old. I've been playing Airsoft for about a full year, but 2 seasons, and I got into Airsoft due to my interest in the military. I'm currently training to become a Navy SEAL. So that's it. I play with, I'm on the CSAS team, newest member, alongside Anubis, which is Ryan Jones.
Okay.
And yeah, it's been a super fun time playing on a team rather than going solo to a field, or even if you have a friend and you're going with a friend, it's a lot better having like a full team of guys you can depend on.
Is someone breaking into my house? I don't know. Some sort of ruckus is going on downstairs.
Somebody's swatting you.
Yeah, I could. I have to expect that that's. Or is that on your side? Is there a lot of stuff going on your side?
I don't think so.
Am I watching a video in the background? Oh, yeah, I'm watching funny cats in the background. All right. Oh, I love that this is actually on. I'm recording my whole screen, so there's that.
Good stuff.
Never forget to close your funny cats completion.
Hey, it could have been worse. Could have been porn.
Oh man, that would have been even better, man. If I had seen. What am I doing?
In the background the whole
what
time.
am I doing? There we go. Okay, we're back. We're back online. Which would make sense. I kept taking my headphones off. I'm like, what is going on? It was just cute cats knocking shit over. So
solid.
Back to it though. Playing with a group of friends and a team, especially, like the level of organization really brings airsoft to like the kind of experience you can really have
It's
with
a
it.
whole nother level.
So a little bit more about CSAS. How did you hear about them? What kind of drew you to them as a team?
So hilariously, the way I met them was actually last year. I went to I think it was like my second or third event, but I went to Operation Shield Wall in PRZ, and I was rocking my SAS Black kit. Okay. And I noticed, or I actually ended up meeting Ryan Jones in line for Chrono, and we started talking together, and we became friends. And then we went to, after we chronoed, we went and got, we like sort of just went and tried to find more tan guys because we were on tan team, and we saw a whole group of tan guys practicing CQB drills. I walked up to them and was like, "Hey, what's going on, you guys?" And then things sort of just, we started just talking about things. I know quite a bit about like CQB stuff because I'm trying to learn that kind of stuff for SEAL teams and everything, right? So, but I was talking to him, and then I was like, "Hey, like, do you mind if me and Anubis here, or Ryan, join the team, like just as add-ons?" And Louis was alright with it. Louis is my captain, by the way, Louis Prue.
Yep.
Team captain. So he was like, "Yeah, you can tag along," and then, we played with him the whole day. It was a ton of fun. And, it was an amazing event to play with.
So it just kind of rolled from there, you just...
And then afterward, the way that we ended up joining the team was... I played with them. Me and Ryan did another event. We went to a Black Lines event together.
Oh yeah.
Just the two of us. And then after that, a couple months later, this is like midwinter time now, like February or so of this year. We went to Siege Airsoft along with them. We sort of they were sort of doing like a winter training team thing, and they invited me and Ryan there. Ryan unfortunately couldn't make it, but I could. So I went there, had a ton of fun with them, and then I started talking to Louis about joining the team around then. Maybe it was just before then, but it was around then. And finally, we decided that at Nightfall was going to be my first official game as a CSAS member.
That's awesome. So Nightfall this year?
Nightfall 8, yep, this year.
Right. Did CSAS play Nightfall last year? Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed Nightfall. I had no idea about it, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah.
No, because the way I sort of found out about events was more or less like on Facebook. Like, I just search Airsoft event, and then anything that I saw that was nearby to Kingston, because that's where I'm located, right? Anything that was located semi-close to me, I'd sort of be interested in and try it out. And Crossfire Airsoft or Crossfire Paintball, I should say, is my home field. So that's where I generally play. But
that's Crossfire was actually a place that came up in another interview. I've personally never been there, but
it's a great field, man. It's a ton of fun.
With it being your home field, could you tell me a little bit more kind of about the field, the vibe?
So basically, the field it's massive. I mean, for those of you who've been to PRZ, it's about 3 times the size of PRZ. And for those of you who aren't familiar, it's basically about 2 kilometers long by a kilometer and a half wide, and it's almost completely forested, minus like 3 areas where it's there's like a little mini town area where they've got, a couple structures set up. There's like a D-Day zone, which is really cool, where they actually have like a sand beach kind of area with like 2 shingles that you can defend from or attack up.
Yep.
And then there's just lots of windy ass trails, and it's really thick forest too. Like it's in some spots you literally will be, if you're trying to like get sneaky and not take a trail, it'll take you a solid like 20 minutes to move 50 feet because it's so thick.
Yeah, I think sometimes people forget how much fun you can have in woods ball, and they kind of just I called it woods ball. That's how long I've been out of paintball, and all of a sudden I bring up woods ball.
I knew what you meant. I got you.
I don't remember calling it woods ball and speed ball in the old paintball days. It's funny. But yeah, playing like out in the bush where it's not built up and you don't have a full tack town or buildings to breach, like that's still an experience of airsoft. Like you can have a lot of fun out in those woods.
Oh yeah, and especially when because the majority, like my very first game, I played there. I had literally never played airsoft before, like ever. It was my very, very first game. I got in a bunch of, I had my kit together, but I didn't actually have like any guns or anything like that.
Really?
So yeah, I sort of did the opposite of like the recommended starting thing, because I knew I was going to get an airsoft no matter what. So I ended up building my SAS black kit first, starting with, the mask, the, shirt, pants, vest, whatever. And, hold on. Okay. And then so I went there, I rented a gun, rented BBs, whatever, started playing, and I just remember having a ton of fun. I'm a really active guy, so I'm really fast. So I was, I can't remember what the event was even called, but it was basically 2 sides, and one of them had like a bomb to plant. Okay. So I was on the bomb side, and I was the bomb carrier, and I was just so fucking fast. I just like yeet past people and just like sprinting past everyone. I'm like, all right, guys, gotta plant the bomb. And oh man, it was so funny.
Yeah.
But so with my first game, I had more or less no idea what I was doing, and I was just in the woods, more or less hiking around, because it's big. Like my first game I played there, I think I hiked probably about 10K worth of walking around in the 7-8 hours that I played, just because of like you're killed on one side of the field and CP's on the other. Boom, there's an easy 1-click hike back.
Oh, easily. At that field, do they host a lot of milsims or anything, or are they mainly a walk?
Yeah, they're milsim. They've got a few milsims. That's the first event that I went to, was a milsim, and then they've got lots of like walk-on days. I think they have like walk-on days twice a week or once a week at least. Wow. Yeah, so pretty often. But yeah, no, it's a very very good field, and the guys that run it there are also really cool and really fun. They have drones that they'll like take videos or photos of the battles going on, which is really fun, or for tactical uses too, right?
Yeah.
So
that's great. Yeah, with our initial goal off the start of this year, excuse me, they're like Nomad's goal was to maybe not play as many milsims this year and try and get around and play more walk-ons at different fields, like travel a lot just to play like walk-ons and stuff. And then our first event of the year was Icebreaker, hosted by the Crywolf guys at, I forget the field name now, but out Windsor way. And as soon as we played that milsim, we're like, nah, we're just gonna do a bunch of milsims this year. And but the problem with that is like a lot of the ones that really get publicized are at usually the same fields. Like there's usually like the same 3 or 4 fields that host the milsims.
PRZ, Clarington. What's the one in Toronto?
Toronto.
What's the home field for Niagara Quartermaster?
Niagara Quartermaster.
Yeah, like their home field.
It's down here in Niagara. It's just called Niagara Quartermaster. It's where
it is. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I feel like those 3 fields are like basically where all the milsims are held, more or less.
Well, Niagara's had a really hard time in the last, I'd even say like 3, 4 is like around like 4 to 5 years ago. Niagara had a pretty solid milsim community, like a good group of guys that would get out and even just mill scrims, like half day, like nothing too big. Had a really good community, but it kind of seems like it died down. And I don't exactly know why, but I think it has a lot to do with the field's not very symmetrical.
So it's very like one-sided kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very hard to not make it a like direct objective based games. Like if you're playing certain objectives, like one team starts here, the objective's here, like go, you can make it work really good. But trying to have a game that's 24 hours long with just flags all over the place, one team's always going to get the shitty end. So
right, yeah.
Whereas like a lot like PRZ, a lot of the field like Scar, all this stuff out in like Windsor. Did you ever play the College in London?
No.
Oh, you missed out. That was some of the best airsoft I've ever played.
Really, eh?
Oh, yeah.
See, I've been kind of stunted in my airsoft experience. Literally, I've only played at Siege, PRZ, and Crossfire. I've been wanting to go out to Clarington. I've heard lots and lots of good things about that from both friends and just people I've met at other milsims, but I've just never gotten the chance to. Or what ends up happening quite a bit is every event that I am interested in going to ends up getting canceled because people don't sign up, which is kind of shitty. But
yeah, people not signing up for games is rough because there's definitely a lot more. Like there's a lot of underappreciated games in Ontario. A lot of these smaller fields that host games and go out of their way to host milsims, like you can have a lot of fun at these games, but people just assume they're not going to be good because they're not in this, massive AO with 3-story buildings and stuff. So they don't want to.
Unless it's PRZ, they don't want to go, kind of thing.
Yeah, and so I guess PRZ's kind of been the only major field that you've played. But after a couple years, you kind of realize all the major gunfights at PRZ happen outside of the buildings. It's very rare that you're doing room clearing, room-to-room combat. It's usually like you go in, the building's taken, and then you shoot from doorways and windows until they take it back.
Yeah, garage is literally the only, like garage and kitchen is the only area where really in a gunfight for a sustained period, and that's just because it's a hellhole.
Maybe like the Northfield side of kitchen, you get in a few, entry gunfights, but that's about it. So when these fields host games that are completely outdoor with maybe like a little shanty built up like town or something like that,
that's literally what Crossfire is more or less that.
There was a field in Fort Erie, which is like super south Niagara, right on the border. It was called Blackwater Airsoft, and it
Oh yeah.
It had one of the funnest fields that I've played. Our it's kind of where our team got our start and stuff. Unfortunately, the field didn't last. We had our own differences with management, if you will. But the field's not around anymore. But the field itself was just a giant tack town almost. It was like a farmer's field that they actually, I'm pretty sure it was like a long time ago, like 2 baseball fields, maybe like a park or something like that.
Okay, cool.
But then they just clear cut the whole thing and built a tack town the whole way across it, and it was the most fun I've ever played.
That sounds really cool, actually. Yeah.
And like with a lot of these fields, like if they put, I'm not a woodworker or carpenter, I guess, or whatever kind of builder, so I don't know the exact cost of wood. But if a field put 10 grand into lumber and had the community come out and help build, you could do some crazy shit. But
Oh yeah.
getting that up front for these fields, that a lot of them are just, a couple of guys who wanted to open a field.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier said than done, right?
For sure, yeah. That's the problem with a lot of fields. Like, I feel like especially, like, again, I can only say for what I've seen so far in Ontario, but I watch a lot of YouTube airsofters, and a lot of the fields that I see in other countries, like either in the States or in Europe or
Europe's
wherever,
big.
yeah, they've got amazing looking fields, like crazy looking fields. I remember I was watching Dutch the Hooligan, and there was this one field that's in an abandoned shopping mall,
Yep.
which is just amazing. Like, that place looked so cool to play in.
Yeah, once you start going down to like kind of the more serious games down in the States, it's like the AOs they have are incredible, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's more kind of like cultural, I guess. There's a lot more of an interest. The airsoft interest here compared to like per capita in the States is definitely,
Oh yeah.
there's a large separation, and there's there's a lot more abandoned property, a lot more stuff like that. Like, how often do you see an abandoned mall in Ontario?
Almost never.
Yeah, and if you do, the amount of insurance issues and shit like that to be able to play airsoft in it is,
I feel like the other problem too is just because of the Canadian gun laws and how they are with firearms in general. It limits the airsoft community quite a bit more than in the States. Like, even in England, where they've got pretty strict gun, I think that there's a much stronger airsoft presence than in Canada, from what I've seen and from the people I've talked to.
Yeah, it's weird, right? You'd love to see it be a much bigger part of kind of like the community and like society as a whole, but it's one of those things. We have these very strict gun laws, and if you can't just go to an abandoned building and rent it out and play airsoft in it, because the backlash if some random citizen was to drive by and see a bunch of people with guns in,
Oh, it's a nightmare. I mean, I live in Kingston right now, where technically having an airsoft gun is illegal. Like, you're not supposed to have one. Well, that's not true. You're allowed to have one, but basically just storage, because you're not allowed to actually shoot them whatsoever. So we have no fields near us whatsoever.
Really?
Like, literally, Crossfire is the closest one. I think it's like 25, 30 minutes out of town.
Really?
And even just wanting to, like, some days I just want to go out and to a backyard and just shoot some shit, right? But you can't, and it sucks, because you're like, all right, but if anyone saw me, then I'd be in deep shit. Like,
What
versus in
about
the States, you might get away with it a little more.
for being like a newer player? Have you looked into going Quebec way at all for airsoft?
I haven't. I don't really speak French at all, so it's kind of one of those things where I try to stay away from Quebec as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, I can.
The farthest into Quebec I've been is Gatineau, and that's about it.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Definitely a large language barrier. But from what I can tell, it definitely seems like Quebec has a much stronger airsoft community. I think they have a lot of great AOs. Like if you look at some of, I don't really know them too personally, but like the 6mm guys and
Yeah, yeah.
those guys, like
I met them at Nightfall. They're cool guys.
some of the games, I mean, I would, from watching videos, look relatively questionable, but badass. It looks amazing. Don't understand how the insurance on that works, but it was like, unless there's just a waiver that says like, don't, like, if anything happens, it's your own fault, which I'm totally signed from watching some of the videos.
Oh, man, I would literally give up an arm and a leg to, you know, zip or what's it called? Rappel down like the side of a, like, because I heard at PRZ, what actually originally brought me to PRZ was the fact that
JTF.
I heard that PRZ had, JTF, but I heard that PRZ had rappelling hooks.
Oh,
that I thought people used and could use, but no. I was quickly stomped out of that dream.
From what I understand, it's been used as like a JTF training area. If you see like a lot of those places where you see there's like holes blown in the walls and stuff, they do like, and I could be completely off base. This is just what I've heard. That's where they like train for like hydro charges and shit.
Fun.
Which makes perfect sense. I mean,
I mean, they gotta train somewhere, right?
Yeah. So, but moving kind of back into like the CSAS side of things. What?
Yeah, we got a little off track.
Oh, that's the best part. Just talking about airsoft, it can go absolutely anywhere.
Yeah.
What are some of the other events you guys have done earlier this year?
So, we did Nightfall this year. Some of us will be going to Operation Daybreak. About half the team will. Unfortunately, half of us either weren't able to make it due to previous engagements or monetary whatever. But yeah, some of us aren't able to make it, including myself, unfortunately. As much fun as I think it's going to be, I really wanted to, but I wasn't able to. Honestly, I don't know too much about what our future plans are for future games past that. I know CSAS is big into Nightfall. Like, that's Louis', like, that's our home game, I guess you can say.
Yep.
So if there's a Nightfall 9, I would bet anything that we're going to be there.
Yeah, it's also hard, like we had said, Louis wants to get on the show, and being the team captain, it's easier for him to kind of have like an idea of what the team plan is. I don't know if you've looked into it or anything. Darkzone, hosted by the Blackcell guys. Have you guys looked into that game at all?
I saw it briefly, but I think it was the date that it was happening. I wasn't able to make that, so...
You might be thinking of the wrong game. Darkzone is a game they're hosting at November 2nd, I believe it is, at PRZ. It's like a division-style game. I'll send you a link after on
Yeah. I think I've seen it. I know what you're talking about. I can't use the reason why I'm not going to that.
Like the registration hasn't opened yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
so like you still have time. I'm just trying to...
Things might change, yeah.
I'm always trying to promote this game as much as I can because I'm actually commanding one of the factions. And,
there you go.
I have a squad of 30 people below me, all relatively handpicked. So
good stuff.
I would recommend being like a newer player, not really knowing a lot of the games to look forward to. Definitely keep an eye out for any games hosted by Blackcell.
I love Blackcell.
Yeah.
Those are, after playing at Narco 3.
I was at Narco with you guys. I totally forgot.
Oh yeah, I bet you forgot.
Yeah, I did. That's something we got to get into too. We'll save that for the end.
Yeah, we will. So after playing with Blackcell, after playing at Narco 3, and meeting the Blackcell guys, I 100% am in love with the Blackcell guys. Their events, the way that Narco was ran, I dare say that Narco was one of the best airsoft games I've been to. Honestly, either tied or better than Nightfall for me.
Yeah, it's definitely the thing about tied and better than is they're two completely different games.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, it's hard to necessarily...
Yeah, like...
I think I actually had a better experience at Narco, but that's also because I was shit-kicking the other team.
Yeah. Like,
along with the squad, so it was a lot better.
At the end, though, the game was fairly tied up. I'm pretty sure the final count at game call came down to like 15 on 50, and 12 of them were nomads. So the end game was it was fun for the last little while, but you guys definitely really gave it to us. But with the difference in experience is, I don't necessarily call the Blackcell games a mil sim. I don't think there's much a military simulation, as they are just like
no.
Like a different breed of simulations. Like they do whatever they want, and they always, like, if you want to have the Darkzone coming up is Division, like a narco kind of cops versus robbers kind of thing. Whereas
it's like almost like a themed sim, like whereas a themed mil sim almost.
Right. Whereas Nightfall really brings us that military force on force. Like battlefield, everyone's in there, in your face experience, which I did have a lot of fun at Narco this year. It's hard for me to say which one I have more fun at because, I don't remember most of the night before Narco, so
yeah, but you don't.
I do remember, however, partying at Nightfall, so therefore I probably had more fun at Nightfall.
There you go. But, or you had more fun at Narco because you can't remember.
Just can't remember. But no, the difference is amazing in the experiences. And I really wasn't too big into the milsim community even last year. I think I only played the college games at Huron. I forget what the actual school was called, but that was run by the NPAC guys. Jamie Nardak runs amazing games. I personally don't understand how he keeps his games so clean and very concise. It's I don't understand it, because you get all these like people from all across the community come in, and he somehow manages to run just flawless games. So there's that.
Yeah.
But you guys wouldn't happen to be attending Risk 3, would you? That you know of?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, so Risk is another event that Jamie hosts. And that's the thing, is being that you're so new into the community, you still have so much to like learn. I really wish I could go back to be like, oh, what do you mean there's 20-something milsims a year? Like,
oh, yeah. I mean, the amount that I just see on Facebook there's just dozens, and they're amazing. Like, they all look good, and they all look fun. It's about, like, some days I literally have to pick and choose, because I remember last year, I literally had, like, on a couple of weeks in a row, in, like, either July and August, there was, like, 3 events on the same day, like, multiple days. Like, like, this weekend, 3 events going on. Next weekend, 3 events going on. Next week, you're like, holy hell, I have to pick now? Like, damn it.
A lot of, like, I had some overlapping games for September, but it turns out September is going to be a write-off for me anyways. I'll be lucky if I get out to play Airsoft once all of September.
That's my problem, is October to December, I'm doing a bunch of stuff, so I'm not sure if I'm going to have... Yeah. Luckily, that's sort of when Airsoft slows down, but...
Yeah, but so once you spend a couple years traveling and playing games, and you kind of get that sense of like what games you want to go to, like for you guys, you'll definitely go to a Nightfall. If they have a Narco, you guys will definitely probably return to Narco.
Oh yeah, and even if the team doesn't go, I would go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like, so you learn games like that, and then it makes it easier to like, oh, this is the same weekend as some other event. Well, like, sorry, we're going to this one and shit like that.
Yeah.
But one thing, though, that's always nice to kind of hear from newer players in the community, if you had any kind of advice to get people to just get out there, start playing if they've been looking like you said, how you just kind of bought all your gear because you knew you were going to love it. What would some advice you have?
So advice-wise? Well, I can only say what happened for me. Mm-hmm. So bear in mind I'm also interested in the military, and for me, playing airsoft, because I'm currently training for it, and I'm training to hopefully join a special operations unit, which even if I get in, do all my training, everything, it'll be, probably 5 years before I'm ever deployed to a team, right? So for me right now, this is like the closest thing I can get to actually being as like a SEAL and being in special operations, which is ton of fun because it's also like, you get to have fun playing with guys that you can get shot, like you're not going to die, and you can do stupid shit. But for me, I obviously have been watching YouTubers for years before I ended up actually deciding to join into the airsoft community. Obviously Novrich, because anyone who's ever watched YouTube has probably watched Novrich. But I got into, Silo, House Gamers, Dutch the Hooligan, Airsoft Alphonse, all these kind of guys. And the more I watched them, the more the bug kind of itched a little bit more and more and more, until finally one day I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it. And then I planned out my kit because originally I'm English, like my whole family's English. Mm-hmm. And for me, I mean, I've got mad respect for the SAS because, they're basically the grandfather of special operations. They literally wrote the book on how to be one. Yeah. So I had to, for me, I also saw a YouTube video of a guy who's doing like a piece-by-piece breakdown of his SAS Black kit, which gave me inspiration to try that out. Because I was sort of thinking like, what am I going to do for a kit kind of thing. So then, I decided to do an airsoft SAS kit. I started, researching what stuff I wanted to get, going to like my local Army surplus place, looking at what they had, et cetera, et cetera. Eventually got, my gas mask. I got all my kit sorted together. And then once I did that, I was like, all right, I'm ready to play. Went to the closest airsoft field I could, because I also knew there was an event that day, like it was a milsim. So I was like, I knew that was sort of what I wanted to get into. I knew like speed soft wasn't really my thing or something like that. And then I played, and instantly, I got hooked, and it was a ton of fun. Yeah. And what surprised me most, and this is what honestly makes me the happiest to be part of the airsoft community, is how friendly everyone is. My very first day, I show up with my kit, not knowing a single person, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing, and everyone there was so nice to me. Everyone was talking to me, like, complimenting my kit, making friends, like, oh man, it was a great time it was a great experience to meet the community in that way, where everyone was so welcoming and open about it, and like just instantly I was in. There's like not even
there's definitely a few small groups that have that that kind of elitism, fucking basically just douchebags that don't really help the community.
I assume that's everywhere, but
that don't really help the community at all. But for every, say, one team that has that kind of attitude towards the sport, there's like 5 or 6 that are willing to really help out new players and really understand the fact that new players coming in are going to keep the sport going. Like,
Oh yeah.
people eventually, for the most part, get out of airsoft. So if you don't have a player base keeping it going, and a lot of these teams are really there to help the new players. So you're kind of lucky yourself that you stumbled across a field that kind of helps that, right?
Oh, it was amazing. It was so It was such a happy experience because again, I was more or less just the FNG, right? I was just like, huh, like, what do I do now? Where do I get my gun? What's a chrono? You know, you're like, what the fuck am I doing here? And then people are like, oh yeah, here, do this, do that, you're good. And it was an amazing experience, and from there on, I was hooked into airsoft. Immediately got my thing,
Oh,
which was
you cut out there for a second.
oh, sorry about that.
There you go.
Mike's a little dumb sometimes. I was gonna say immediately after that, I got my gun. Finished off. After playing, I had a few kit changes that I had to do because functionality versus look. You know, I more or less went for the look more than the functionality, or just from playing I learned, okay, this is dumb, don't do that, or I need this, etc., etc. But from then on, it was a ton of fun, and then just trying to get out and play as much as I possibly could and meet new people. And honestly, I have never met, I guess I've just been lucky, but I've never met like a douchey airsofter that is like not super chill and nice and welcoming.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's a good record.
I know, right? Once I meet somebody, I'll be like,
oh,
fuck you.
I definitely, not that everyone that's been playing the sport for a lot of years and really gets into like the more milsim side of stuff, I miss the urge to like just wake up on a Sunday and be like, wow, there's airsoft today, let's go play at my local field or whatever. Like we definitely still have those days, but when you're like, holy shit, I have to spend 24 hours here and another 18 here and another whatever there, it's like, this is my weekend off. I don't even want to see airsoft this month.
Yeah, Nightfall was my first 18-hour event. I'd gone to other events where I had to, like the event lasted longer, but for whatever reason, I'd end up having to leave early for most of them. Blackline was the other closest thing. I ended up having to only stay for 24 hours at the Operation Carbon Majestic that I went to. Just because I ended up having to leave because of a family emergency sort of popped up out of nowhere. I was like, oh, all right. So by the time that I had gotten picked up and come back home, I'd been there for about... So that was the closest thing, or that...
Your mic.
Sorry, my mic. Yeah, I know. It's always doing that thing. My longest game other than that was Nightfall, and Nightfall kind of killed me, and I don't know what it was necessarily, but I think maybe I was just pushing the red too much and like going full on pace the whole first couple of hours, and it was a mistake.
Yeah, after a couple, and once you get in really good with a team, you learn that it's a marathon, not a sprint. You really have to be able to rely on your teammates as well as the other teams out there playing with you, that if you need some time, just take some time.
For us, for CSAS, we had a pretty rough Nightfall for a couple of us, like Jones or Ryan. He actually got heat stroke that game, like pretty bad heat stroke. I got like really wiped out just from pushing the red so much. All of us had to keep taking breaks because I think we were all like really high intensity. So for Nightfall, for CSAS, we were mostly on North Field.
Yep. And
more or less the commander for our team, like as soon as we would get team wipe, he'd be like, "Okay, do this. Like, we need you right back there. Hustle, fucking move your ass." And like, basically, that was the pace that we were at for 8 hours.
Yep.
So, or like for the first 7 or so hours. So it sort of wiped us all out. Where we were like, "Okay, we ought to take 10-minute break here, 20-minute break here, 15-minute break there." You're like, Jesus. Yeah, so it was kind of bad for us there, but
it happens, and CSAS is one of those teams. Like, it'll definitely be something that I get a chance to talk to with Louis if he decides to shoot me a message. Would love to kind of talk about the growth of the team, because I know how Nomad kind of fell into their milsim side of things. And it really is just one of those things where it comes in time, and it comes with the right players too. Like you really, going balls to wall is great, but eventually your mentality on that will change, and you'll.
Oh yeah, it already has.
Yeah, Nomad's primarily a Southfield team at PRZ. We've been playing. I don't know a milsim that we've been to at PRZ where we didn't end up pretty much playing Southfield the whole time.
Nice.
And I'm not complaining. Like, we did well the first time we played there, so the next milsim like put us in Southfield, keep us out of the buildings, and just went that way. But speaking of PRZ, the biggest talk about Narco. Better eventually get around to it. First off, how long were you awake on that Friday night? Like, what point
I was awake until about 3 or 4 a.m.
So you probably saw the spear tackle then?
Oh, yeah. I saw it all. Nice. It was, I saw more than I wanted to see.
Nice. That's what you want to see.
No, yeah, we were all out, and originally, I thought the game started at 11 a.m., so I was kind of like, all right, I'm probably going to be heading off to bed, about, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, right? Get a little bit of sleep, because I knew it was going to be a long game, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And in fact, one of our team members did end up doing that. He went straight to sleep at I think 11 o'clock, the pussy. But, who
goes to bed at a milsim that Nomad's at? Who goes to bed?
But then I was informed that it was like, oh, we're starting at 1 o'clock. Or no, 3 o'clock. And I was like, oh, well, shit, why would I be going to bed early? And we're, our team always has a I guess, tradition, you could say, to go to Gus's, which is like a diner in Picton, before every milsim or game or whatever. So we went there, noon or whatever it was for breakfast. But anyway, yeah, I stayed up. We oh man, that was quite the night. I'm having some flashbacks now that I wish I was flashing back to.
So, stories like that is kind of like the kind of thing that really locked Nomad in as not even like from outsiders, for ourselves, has like really cemented our friendship. If you don't know a lot of the background of it, Brad and I always wrestle. It's always like 4 a.m. Brad and I are in my backyard just kicking the shit out of each other.
Nice. There you go. If that's not friendship, I don't know what is.
So, but then, the one night the little bastard won't wrestle me. The one night. And then, there's a certain point in, I guess, my alcohol consumption that has been dubbed the White Rhino. That I didn't care if he was wrestling or not. I was wrestling him. Butt-ass naked, spear tackle. He says it was out of nowhere, but that little fuck knew it was coming. He knew it was coming.
He saw it coming.
He knew it was coming. But, and then, that happened. But you know what? The whole team got up the next day, and we played the whole fucking game. And it's like, getting used to playing hungover is the worst but best thing ever. Because you can really go to, like, these campouts and have a blast the night before. and then play the game instead of having to be like, I better grab some sleep.
Jones, Ryan at Nightfall, he made that mistake, and he wasn't prepared, where he basically got to Nightfall at, I think it was like noon on the Friday. And he was like, yeah, guys, like, I'm here. And like, we're all like, man, we're not going to be there for 8-9 hours. Like, we've all got work. We've all got shit to do. We got to travel. So he said that he had about 20 beers in the 8 or 9 hour time period before we all even got there. And then he was drinking some more. So he was fucked.
Yeah.
So the next morning, he was in a world of hurt. And then, like I said, during Nightfall, he actually got heat stroke, like a really bad heat stroke.
Yeah. You get dehydrated really.
Oh, it was bad for him. So we were trying to nurse him back. But yeah, I don't really drink. I'm not much of a drinker, so it's never been an issue for me. I've been like
you pick your poison, right?
Yeah, more or less. So I've kind of been like, well, I'm just gonna watch everyone else, and for the most part, it's fun being sober and watching watching drugs do their thing. It was, I mean, for you, literally, I got to Narco at, I want to say 9 o'clock or so, and you were already in your underpants the whole time. Oh, and you were fucked. You remember that?
By 9? Not so much.
You were in your boxers from the moment I saw you.
It sounds
and
right.
you were blasted. I was like, oh, it's a party now. And then the underpants came off at about 1. That's when I remember they were off. So I was like, all right, well, this is really a party now.
Shit. It's not a party unless you're partying naked. I really think there's been a going joke now about kind of like it's like Nomad and me in particular, kind of well known in the Milsim community. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to my sponsors.
It could be both.
Decide.
It could be both.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna have it's really up to my sponsors if they want to keep that kind of thing.
It's free publicity, because all someone needs to do is tell that story. Remember that guy that was running around fucking no pants on during Narco? Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah,
is he part of Nomad? Yeah.
It's definitely not a pre-Milsim party unless I am butt-ass naked.
There you go.
That's how you know it's going to be a good party.
It's going to be a good game.
So, leaving quotes, buddy, first thing, being one of the newer members on CSAS, give me a little rundown on what your opinion is of them and what the community that's going to get to know them better should know about them.
I think that CSAS is a very good up-and-coming team, and that's not just being on the team. I joined them because I thought that they were a really good group of guys. I think Louis is an amazing team captain. He's got his head in the game, and he really knows what he's doing, which, from what I've seen of other squads, is sometimes not the case.
Yeah.
I think that we've got a solid team of guys. You know, we've got 2 snipers, we've got 2 LMG guys, we've got a pretty good setup in terms of command, and we've got a really good crew. I think we're all getting closer and closer together too, the more we play. And yeah, I think we're a team to watch out for sure.
Oh.
I think when we join a team, when we join an event, people are going to want to be on our team, because when we are set up to do our element, we kick ass. I mean, look at Narco. We were only a 6-man recce team for Narco, and we were blasting
awesome
the druggies, as we call them.
That's it's good to hear that. It's good to hear that there's other teams growing in the community, because there really is the same 6 to 8 teams that go to every Milsim. So having new guys there, having new friends, if you will, to make new guys to spear tackle.
Please, God, no.
Just like line your whole team up. That's it.
Yeah.
Southfield, line up, Suplex City. Now you guys are a MilSim team.
It's like naked bowling. You're just like...
But anyways, buddy, thanks for being on the show. Really saved my ass this week. After my little blunder with Christine there. Also, Christine, I know you're going to be listening to this. I am very sorry about that, and we will get that re-recorded. But Hunter, have a great fucking day.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks so much for having me on. It was a blast.
Thanks, buddy. Whew. That was a long one. But it was a good conversation with another a kind of newer, up-and-coming member of the community. So keep an eye out for Hunter and CSAS as well. A couple other things. Last episode, we had a giveaway going from Orangeville Airsoft, a couple gift cards, and some tech work for everyone that liked, commented, subscribed, all that good stuff. I am going to be taking care of that this weekend, the Labor Day weekend, and I will make sure to get in contact with you and probably make a post about who the actual winners are. So if you haven't liked, commented, and subscribed on that video already, you have until this weekend to do that, to enter and win some prizes. Also, make sure you say what the prize is. I made that pretty clear on in the video, so watch it before you comment, like, and subscribe. But also, I know you guys have been talking, there's a couple segments that have been missing. Some Keanu tips, some great fucking guy of the week, some random calls, stuff like that. And what it really basically comes down to is how difficult it makes the editing process. The random Facebook calls made sense when it was just audio, but it is rather unreliable, makes editing a nightmare. The Keanu's tips, transferring that over to videos made it a lot harder to kind of work them in, but that's hopefully something that will be returning. I know he would love to get his face as many places as he can, and I know we all want to see it, so leave that ball in that court. But the great fucking guy of the week, I really want to bring something like that back. What I want to do is, if you want to get on the show and you want to get kind of, I don't know, a little bit of limelight, I want you to send in a video much like this. That was good. I've been dying during this editing process to do that. Send me in a video of you chugging a beer. And I'll just save it, throw it on at the end or the start or wherever I'm going to throw it. And we get your little limelight. Maybe talk a little bit about some experiences I've had with you. And who knows what else we'll do. But let's just try that for next time. Send them on in, guys. And have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.